In this video, I'm going to explain how this simple notebook and this pen make you more productive, optimize your life, and increase your self-awareness. You ready? Let's get into it. Hey peeps, my name's Matt, and on this channel we explore the high performance habits that help entrepreneurs and professionals take consistent action and achieve better than expected results on a consistent basis in business, fitness and life. Today we're going to dive into how this notebook and this pen makes me more productive, increase my self-awareness, functions as useful tools for life management. This notebook provides a useful platform for me to implement the bullet journal method, which is this book right here. And I came across the bullet journal method a couple of years ago, and I just started out my journaling journey, and it has been a super useful guide to help with my day-to-day task management, to help me get my thoughts in order, and to help me assess my priorities and stuff that I need to get done. These two items are a constant companion by my side throughout the day and help me record tasks that I need to get done, thoughts that I'm thinking about during the day. They help me time box and plan my daily schedules, set out my weekly commitments, and much more. This video is not going to go into the details of the bullet journal method, because the bullet journal YouTube channel is going to provide you with a startup guide as to how you can get started with the method itself, or you can go on Amazon and buy the book. I think it cost me about 20 quid, but it is a super useful resource if you are looking for a method or a system to help with your journaling and to develop a useful life management system. What I'm going to do in this video is explain how I've utilized and adapted the bullet journal method for my own use, some of the benefits that I've experienced as a result of writing in this notebook every day, and hopefully provide you with some inspiration so that you develop your own life management system by using these two simple tools. So let's dive in. The basic structure of the bullet journal method is that you have an index, you have a future log, which is basically 12 months of the year, you have a monthly log and a task list, which basically sets out individual days of the month, and then a task that you need to get complete that month. You've got a day log where you make your day-to-day notes, and then you number the pages at the bottom of your notebook, which you can then use to file in the index, and that provides a quick reference guide as to the notes that you took on any particular day. I have adapted this simple framework by incorporating some useful elements, and they include a wish list. So from time to time there are courses or digital products or books or anything like that that I would like to buy at some stage in the future. Those sorts of items go into my wish list. I use the month log as a prompt for 1 line a day journaling. So every day I'll reflect on the previous day and write down the highlight of that previous day, and that enables me to use 2 different types of journaling in one notebook. I have also incorporated a day planner where I'm able to do some time boxing. This just means that I break down my day into half-hour chunks, and then I time box those half-hour chunks depending on the tasks that I need to get done for the day. This idea was inspired by Cal Newport's time boxing journal itself, and I thought rather than buying a separate journal to do the time boxing, I can just incorporate that same principle within my existing bullet journal. I've also recently started to use the Getting Things Done framework for productivity. So the bullet journal acts as an analog inbox for me to jot down tasks that I then transfer into my digital to-do list when I carry out my weekly review. But this is just quick and easy because I don't have to context shift from one app to another. When I'm working on something, I can just grab my pen and paper and write it quickly in the notebook. Previously incorporated a nutrition tracker and a training diary within the notebook. So every day I'd write down the food that I'd eaten, break that down into carbs, fats and proteins, also how much water I was drinking and how many cups of coffee that I was drinking. They're my main metrics. And then I would make a note of all of the exercise that I do in a specific day. So this became just an analog version of my nutrition tracker and training diary. I've since transferred all of that into Notion, so I keep track of it online, but this provided a useful starting point for me to get into the habit of, tracking my food and also tracking my training. Now, if you're getting value from this video, please make sure you hit that like button so the YouTube algorithm can work its magic and recommend it to other people who find it useful. Thank you very much. So I was scrolling on Instagram a little while back and I came across a separate journal where they have a template for weekly commitments, which I have now adopted within this notebook. So the weekly commitments essentially sets out your highlight for the week, so what thing or things that you must get done that week. Then you have a list of secondary tasks, so nice to have items that you want to get done for that week. Then you have a list of outstanding tasks at the end of the week when you carry out your review. It has a goal tracker where you physically mark how many of your tasks you managed to get done for that week and how much closer that's taken taking you towards your goal. And then it has a reflection section. So it encourages you to reflect on what worked that week in terms of the work or, personal life items that you were incorporating throughout the week, what didn't work, and the biggest lesson or lessons that you learned from all of your actions that week. Quite like that layout, so I have started to incorporate that within my notebook, and it's provided a useful tool for reflection at the end of each week. Now, one thing that I do on my day log is I note some personal metrics that I track. So I like to track when I wake up, how many rounds of breathing exercises I'm doing and how long I'm able to hold my breath for, how long I work out for, how long I meditate for, how much time I spent reading for the day, how much time I spent learning for the day, and how much deep work I've done for the day. And those are little metrics that I track at the top of each day log entry, and they just help me to monitor whether or not I am being consistent across all of those metrics, where those metrics drop off, and if they are dropping off, why they're dropping off, and what adjustments I need to make. And I found those super useful. Just wanted to adopt that within my daily practice, almost like a habit tracker. These are some fundamental habits that I want to keep up, so I want to make sure that I'm doing that by tracking my progress. The last thing that I've adapted, when I start a new day log, I write out 4 sentences, which are why today is great, what I'm grateful for today, the thing that I'm focusing on most today, so kind of my highlight for the day, and the thing that I'm letting go for the day. That has been influenced by Headspace. I went through a meditation practice, we just adopted that into a written practice. And also I remember listening to a podcast, I can't remember which one it was, but the guest on that podcast was saying how she starts her day every day by writing out why this day is great. So that then puts you into a positive mindset for the rest of the day, and also kind of grounds a bit more of a gratitude practice as well. So those are the personal adaptations that I've made to my bullet journal and how I am currently using the bullet journal method for my own benefit. Hopefully that gives you a bit of inspiration as to how you can adapt your own bullet journal or even just your own note-taking method. Let me jump into how I found writing in this notebook every day beneficial, and there are a number of reasons why. First off, it's made me more intentional. So spending time writing in this notebook every day not only slows me down for a period of time, because I have to write, my handwriting is not very good, it also makes me think about what I'm writing and why I'm writing it and the impact that it's had on me in the day. And I quite like that. So rather than rushing through the day and not paying attention as to what's actually going on, when I spend that time sitting down and writing in this notebook, my focus is pretty much on the notebook and what I'm doing in that moment. So not only does it make me more intentional, it brings presence and awareness to the task in hand that I'm doing. And that is super beneficial because you start learning more about yourself when you do spend time in silence with your thoughts and a pen and piece of paper. As a consequence, made me become more reflective and self-aware, where I had previously not really spent much time processing my own thoughts. Now, by writing, I'm giving myself the opportunity just to see what's going on in my head, good, bad, indifferent. If I note it down in the notebook, then it's there, it's out in the open for me to kind of assess and determine whether or not I need to take action on it or not, whether it's something I need to take action on later. But this process of reflection is massively beneficial, and every now and again I'll look back and review the thoughts that I had been thinking previously and whether or not changed my perception of those thoughts and the stance on those things, and also how my character has evolved over time. And those things are useful because you start to find out more about who you are as a person, and that all comes from spending a bit of time with a pen and a piece of paper. Considering we live in such a fast-paced world right now where everything needs to be done now, spending some time reflecting and being with yourself is massively powerful. Using the notebook has definitely increased my productivity. So I mentioned before about context shifting. I spend a lot of time working on a laptop or on my phone. Quite easy to shift from one app to another, from one page to another. But what having this notebook and jotting down tasks or thoughts as they come into my head means that I don't have to deviate my focus from what I'm doing there and then, because just writing something down is super quick, super easy. It doesn't distract you like context shifting in the sense of switching between different apps or different web pages. At the end of each day, I have like a brain dump. So, I spend 10-15 minutes just reflecting on outstanding tasks or things that I did want to get done, which I haven't managed to get done, or things that I want to get done in the future. Rather than spending that time in front of a laptop, I spend that just writing things down in a notebook. And then at the end of the week, I'll review all those bits and pieces and stick them into my online task list, implementing the time blocking exercise as part of my daily routine. Timeboxing has been shown to be massively effective, and to have, an analog version of timeboxing in my notebook at the start of every day just makes it more intentional intentional about the work that I'm looking to achieve for that day. And that has just improved my ability to get stuff done. The other thing that writing down, tasks, notes, thoughts has enabled me to do is look back and review when I've been more productive and when I've been less productive. I can see when I've had busy and a good productive day because I've got loads of notes in my bullet journal. The days where I'm less productive, less focused, I'll only have a handful of lines in my day log for that particular day. So it is just a useful quick reference guide to seeing how productive I've been over the course of a day, a week, a month, and then also identifying, why I wasn't particularly productive on that particular day and what changes do I need to make to have less of those days. So that's why I found this notebook bullet journal has helped increase my productivity. One thing that I could probably expand that use for is to help implement an opportunity management practice. Essentially what this is deciding on what to spend your time doing and deciding whether opportunities that are presented to you throughout the day, throughout the week, will move you closer to the goals that you've set out, and those opportunities are therefore worth spending time on. This is something that I cover in a video called The New Time Management for Entrepreneurs and Creators, which you can watch by clicking this link over here. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you in the next video.